It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the two franchises with more Super Bowls than anyone else. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Bay State in Massachusetts. Welcome to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson here as we get going with this one. Greg, you look at the matchup, and one thing jumps out. And we see it more and more the last 5-6 years around the league. Rookie quarterbacks being given the keys and said, kid, let me see what you got.
Yeah, there's no waiting around anymore. It seems like more and more often, just like you said, we're seeing young rookie quarterbacks given the keys to the ship earlier and earlier. And a big reason for that is these coaches realize they don't have a long time to figure that quarterback position out. The longer it goes that you don't have the quarterback of the future, the more likely it is that the next guy that's drafted there, he's playing for a different coach.
Here is the kicker, John Parker Romo, to get us started. And off we go from Foxborough. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They're led out by the former Buckeye, their rookie quarterback out of Ohio State.
There's a lot to like about this young quarterback, and of course we're going to have to wait and see. Can he take advantage of this opportunity in front of him, Mike? But he has not been shy. He says, I know I can play at this level. I know that I can lead an NFL franchise, and we're going to get a shot to see it here, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Finding Metcalf quickly on the RPO. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw. That pass sideline is caught. Nice catch. Stays in bounds. And he's got the first down. Terrific job with the feet to make that one a grab.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback. Getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw yet again. That's caught. Right side. It's Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what the week's plan was, and that was to get the quarterback in a rhythm right out of the gate. You got to imagine as the game unfolds, they'll sprinkle in some runs. But so far, it's been their passing game to get this game started, and that last one results in a first down.
And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make 3rd down manageable and take your chances picking up a key 3rd down?
Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jalen Warren. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Back to throw. That's over the middle and taken in by Freiermuth. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the first down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Warren. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's a 2nd and 6. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. He'll tuck it and take off.
These are the plays that just drive the defensive coordinator crazy, Mike. You do everything right, but you don't account for the quarterback scrambling. He's able to get out of the pocket and gain enough for a first down.
Great chance to make an early statement here on the road. It is 1st and goal. That is caught, and he'll take it on in. Then Skoranek. Touchdown, Steelers. A terrific way to start this one. Not only a touchdown, but a nice long march down the field. Makes it a long walk back to the bench for the defense.
Mike, that's about as good as you can imagine starting a game offensively. To be able to sustain that many plays and be able to cap it off with a touchdown, that is a dream start for this offense.
Chris Boswell on for the point after. He's got it. And the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. To return, it's Antonio Gibson. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The New England offense getting ready to go to work here. They'll be led by the man from North Carolina, 6'4", quarterback Drake May.
From a talent standpoint, Drake May has every physical quality that you're looking for to play modern-day NFL quarterback. He can, of course, make all the throws. He's big, strong, and he is a very good athlete. He just needs some time. He needs to sit back and wait for his opportunity to play. Looks like that day is today, and I think if he goes out and plays to that potential, this is the first step of him becoming a legitimate NFL franchise quarterback.
That's right side and brought in by Williams.
So you come back out here after watching the opposing team score first, and what you want to do is you got to establish a little early rhythm and get the drive started. Get a little positive energy into that huddle, and what hopefully starts out good ends with you being able to get some points of your own.
May to throw on second down. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
That's complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Well, they've come out swinging here on this opening drive through the air, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Generate some early chunk plays and try to get some points.
We are through one. 7-0 is our score. And we're back to Foxborough in a moment. First and 10. May to throw again. Open man to Mario Douglas. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. To throw again is May. Digs on the reception. And they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. But as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a first down.
And he'll be taken down.
We've seen this trend throughout the league, Mike. Offensively, everyone wants to have depth at the running back position. Yeah, it's great to have one guy, but if you could have 2 or 3 that can all come in and contribute on the ground, that's the goal, and we're seeing it here.
Slot man in motion right. They run on the jet sweep, and this is not going to work out as planned. Tough spot to try to run a play like that. It is blown up behind the line.
The timing of the jet sweep is critical. If you can get the ball carrier past the end man on the line, typically there's a lot of space downfield, but give credit to the defense. They saw this one play out, they reacted quickly, and they're able to throw him down for a loss.
That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Mika Fitzpatrick.
Every defensive coordinator, Mike, in the NFL preaches one thing about red zone defense. Keep them out of the end zone. Make them settle for 3. Well, what do? With that interception, they take it to another level, and they get off the field without allowing a single point.
The Steelers offense ready to get going with their second possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Pat Fryermuth, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a 2nd down. Here's a handoff to Warren. And he'll work ahead for about 5 to the 25. Here now, 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Metcalf. A pickup of 12 yards. Good for a Steeler first down.
3rd downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on 3rd downs, that is a recipe for success. A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. That's complete. Calvin Austin. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they do get the ball, everything is just so much easier for them to process. Change the look, change the coverages, move your safeties. Make the quarterback have to process with the ball in his hand.
2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We're back to Foxborough after this. Now they'll set up to throw. There's a short one caught by Fryermuth. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
DK Metcalf was the intended target. And it'll be second down.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
He finds his man, it's Skoranek. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10. In the red zone now, he'll drop to throw. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You just can't say enough about how hard it is to play cornerback in today's modern NFL, Mike. I mean, not only are these wide receivers better than ever, but the way the rules are written, you're really out there on an island with not a lot of options. Your technique has to be perfect. Your timing has to be perfect. It's exactly what we saw here, and he makes a great play on the ball.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them down to the 1. Back to the air one more time. It is brought in the end zone. DK Metcalf. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
It seems to me they were kind of holding this play call for this exact situation, Mike. First and goal, down here near the goal line, and they had this one worked up all week. Simple pitch and catch, and it works to perfection.
Boswell now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Steelers move out on top, 14-0. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense going to get it one last time here late in the opening half. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with first and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's May. Now here's another ball that's intercepted. Picked off by Mika Fitzpatrick. And he is going to score. A pick six for the touchdown. And they extend the lead. The defense joining the party. A pick six for a touchdown. Greg, they are extending this lead out.
Yeah, now you've just seen both sides just make their impact felt here in the first half. The offense has done their part, and now it's the defense that is able to capitalize on the turnover and take it all the way back for the pick six.
On for the extra point is Boswell. He's got it. And the Steelers will stake themselves to a 21-0 lead. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. On the return, here comes Gibson. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Patriots offense going to get it one final time in this first half. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And a nice run. Get them about 9. It'll bring up second down. Working out of the gun, it's May. And they'll pick up the first down, a gain of about 4. And now here's a timeout. They're going to take it with 8 seconds remaining until the break. Set to go now on 1st and 10. From out of the gun, here's May. That's to the left side and taken in by Diggs. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's May. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. We welcome you back. It is quarter number 3. Very one-sided first half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Patriots offense and Drake May making their way back out. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. The third quarter begins with a run. And the woes in the running game continue. They're going to subtract yards there. A loss on the play.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Now Gibson. And he finds some daylight. Up past the 35-yard line. A pickup of 7. Third and 5. May gonna look to throw. Open man is Douglas. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10. First down, New England.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
Second down and 8. On the ground, Gibson. And the tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks. So don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
It's the tight end, Henry, in motion. Play clock down to 0. That's going to be a delay. Throwing now is May. To get this complete, it's Williams over the middle. Good result there after the penalty. They get the yardage back and then some.
How fast things can flip. You find yourself in first and a mile after taking a penalty on first down. But that chunk play there in the passing game now gets them back in sequence with the chains and brings up a more manageable second down.
Throwing on second down, May. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find the receiver, and down he goes.
At some point, you would just like to see that internal clock start to speed up. The longer the play goes on, the more vulnerable you become as the quarterback. Get rid of the ball, but no matter what, you have to avoid the sack.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. Throwing is May. And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a sack and a loss of a couple.
Well, there's clearly some type of communication issue going on up front. I mean, 2 plays in a row now, they allow the same defender to get into the backfield for a sack. This offensive line has got to come together and figure it out, because if not, I got a feeling this guy's day might not be done.
On fourth down, Bryce Behringer out to punt for New England. Back deep to receive is Calvin Austin. This one angles out of bounds, and the mark comes inside the 15-yard line. The Steelers offense and DK Metcalf getting set for their next possession. This will start from the 12, trying to put a drive together here. It's 1st and 10. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. On the ground, it's Warren to start the drive. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Warren. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
In order for you to be able to operate out of this 4-3 style defense, Mike, the key is your defensive tackles, their ability to penetrate, their ability to be game wreckers. That's exactly what we saw here. His ability to get back there, make the stop at the line of scrimmage, keep it to no gain.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. His drive will start on the ground, and it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So, 3 quarters now in the books. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. They face 2nd down and 7. Now, May. He'll get that into the hands of Williams. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. That, not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Third and a yard. On 3rd and a yard, here's May. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. He'll find his tight end. That's Henry.
I can't tell you, Mike, how many of these offensive skill players around the league, they look at man coverage as like a personal offense. After that last completion on the way back to the huddle, I think he had a few choice words for him. I think he said, hey, man, you can't guard me one-on-one. You better ask your coach for some help, because if he doesn't, you're going to be in for a long day.
Taking off. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
To throw on first down is May. Hauled in by the tight end, Henry. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Gibson. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense. Just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing, and another loss of yards.
Here's a 3rd and 10. And that is incomplete.
Well, we all know the running joke, right, Mike? If this guy could catch, he'd be playing offense. And, well, I think that's kind of a joke for the past. These defensive players are incredible these days. That's just too easy. You've got to secure that interception for your defense and get off the field.
They're going. It's May. And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for it on 4th and long will end up in a turnover on downs.
You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. They'll start this on the ground with Warren. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Once again, it's Warren. And he will keep the drive moving. Gets the 1st down. Nice gain of 5.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Warren. And he'll get this only up to about the 33-yard line. Two minutes remain in the 4th quarter. We'll come back and finish this one off. After this, here's a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Warren. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Here's a case of an offense just piling on. You're really imposing your will on the defense. Everyone in the stadium knows you're going to run it. The defense knows it, you know it. And no matter what they do, they have no answers whatsoever.
A run out of the gun with Warren. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, Mike, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the 4th quarter, which typically means I had the lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
And a good job following his blockers. A gain of 7. It'll be second down. So this one, a win for the visiting Steelers. And right away, you can point to the turnover battle. Always key. Tells the story so often. It did here again today. Their offense didn't turn it over at all. They finished on the plus side with the takeaways. And as a result, they're going to come away with the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.